This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Won't someone please think of the children? Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. In the last episode, we helped Iger find the engineer, and we gave him the sim sense of a lifetime before he exploded into a fire of, fireballs and thermite and other such things. So that's done with. So now let's finish up another companion storyline in Glory. And then after that, we'll actually be heading towards the end game. We've only got so many more jobs left to go, and that'll be it. So, yeah, this game is a decent length, but yeah, it's surprisingly short when you think about it. So, but anyway, let's take the van to Harrow and see if we can save the children or defeat Harrow or whatever we're gonna do. So, yeah, let's head on and take Glory with us. And since it's a two-person job, you can do most of the stuff by yourself. But since I have multiple drones, that won't be a problem, at least for me anyway. But first, the drive from the cruise bazaar to the Schlockbook, Schönbuch forest was a long one. For over 6 hours, you and Glory rode in relative silence. 6 hours? Wow. With only the sounds of the road for company. Now you find yourself crouching in the woods, watching, waiting. Off in the distance, the rustic exterior of Fustel looks curiously warm and inviting, but you know what's waiting inside. The anticipation churns at your gut like a living thing. Eventually, a van pulls out of the compound's driveway and rolls out along a service road before disappearing from view. Glory gives you a nod and begins to scramble forward. Harrow has left the building. It's time for you to make your way inside. If you want to get the most out of this mission, having etiquette academic wouldn't be bad to have, or a decent charisma score. If you have decking skill, you can get a little extra reward from this as well. So anyway, let me put on some med kits, and we'll put on the trauma thing. Why not? Let's see. Gun. I was thinking if I wanted to give her another weapon or just use her standard handgun. Yeah, I'll just use her handgun. Because she does have a spot for another weapon if you want to use it, so... Nah, I don't need to use my Karma. The weathered edifice of Fustel looms above you, the dark and sinister in the chill night air. Despite the horrifying stories that Glory told you about this place, something about it feels strangely comforting. In the back of your mind, insidious voices whisper that you could stay here forever. Do you feel it, the odor of this place? Glory gestures with a limb of chrome and steel. When I was a kid, when I was whole, the pull was irresistible. Yes, I can feel it. It's almost pleasant. It's meant to be. That's how it gets to you. It worms its way inside of you, changes you, and you don't even realize what's happening until it's too late. She looks at you and her eyes are dark. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet but steady. You're going to see some terrible things here, Blackwire. Fustel exists to prey on the young, and we're going to have to come face to face with that. Are you sure that you're prepared for this? When you say the young, how young do you mean? I need to know what we're walking into. Teenagers, mostly 16 through 18, though there is the rare exception. That's young enough to make me feel uneasy. She nods. Me too, but we're going to put an end to it one way or another. So, I'll ask you again, are you ready for this? I need an honest answer. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. She studies your face for a moment longer, then looks away. Good. You want to compare notes, make sure we're both on the same page? She nods. We save the street kids and runaways that are living here, and we take them away from this place before Harrow can turn them into monsters. We keep them from following in my footsteps. Any suggestions on how we should approach this? Harrow keeps a shrine in the compound. It's a key to his control over the cultists. We're going to purify the shrine and break the control, and then we're going to lead those kids out of here. Tell me more about the shrine. It's a lump of rock as much as tall as I am, inscribed with runes and encrusted with bone. Its power comes from an entity that Harrow bound into the stone, something very old and very dangerous, a toxic spirit. In many ways it is the heart of this place. The voices that you can hear whisper in the back of your mind, those are the spirit's voices. It saps the will of anyone who sets foot on these grounds. We can't save those kids until the shrine is dealt with. They'll fight us if we try. I want to hash out a few more details before we head inside. That makes sense. If you have any questions, it's best if you ask them now. So how do we purify the spirit? Some sort of ceremony or ritual? Something like that. It'll be easier to just show you. I've got everything we'll need right here. She pats the satchel that hangs from her shoulder. When the time comes, I'll contact the ritual, but before I can do that, we're going to have to face the spirit on its own terms, and that's going to be dangerous, Blackwire. Why attempt to purify the spirit at all? Why not just kill it?
That spirit has its fingers in the minds and auras of every kid in this compound. If we kill it, those kids will get hurt. They might even be killed. We can't take that risk. But if we can cleanse the adversary's corruption from within, it might withdraw from their minds willingly.
And then we can get them out of here.
Exactly.
If the shrine controls the people here, then how do you have anything to feel... How do you have anything to feel guilty about? Nothing that you did under Harrow was really your fault. Her face flushes red, but she breaks eye contact with you.
I wish that were true, but it isn't. Back before I ran away, Fustel was nothing more than a cult of personality that revolved around Harrow. He didn't need magical help to keep us here. We loved him, and we believed in his message. He created the shrine as an insurance policy.
And you think that something has changed and that he started abusing the shrine's power?
She nods. Yes, I think that may escape what was the cause of that change. I know Harrow. When I ran, I bruised his ego. His charisma, charm failed him, and my disappearance rubbed his nose in that failure. He wouldn't be willing to chance something like that happening again, not when he had the means to prevent it.
So the cultists here, they're like puppets. The shrine controls them?
Not exactly. It's more insidious than that. Think of the shrine's influence as a drug. It lowers your inhibitions and makes you compliant. If you were to stay here for a couple of days, you'd fall in love with this place, and you wouldn't even know why. All of Harrow's bullshit would start to make sense. You'd be happy. In essence, all of the street kids here are addicted to this place. It makes them a threat, yes, but it also makes them victims.
Let's get back to talking about what we were going to do.
Fine by me.
I think I know everything I need to do. Let's get moving. She nods and the razors flick out of her fingertips.
I'm with you. Let's do this.
But yeah, basically, really, there's really the only time you really have to choose like what to do in this mission when they say save the children or defeat Harrow. Really, it's only in the final area that you have to do that. And what you choose depends on, well, obviously the objectives will be different, but what ends up happening is 2 different story elements occur for one, and you get 2 different rewards from it depending on what you choose. So, yeah, let's check the door here. The doorway shimmers with a faint red light. As you approach the door, you can feel a squirming sensation in the back of your skull. Your limbs begin to tingle, then feel heavy. The closer you get to the doorway, the more of a struggle it is to continue moving forward. It feels as though the strength is being siphoned from your body. We have willpower 8, we can fight through it, but I don't, so we have to step back. As you step away from the door, the crawling sensation gradually recedes. A moment later, the strength returns to your limbs. Glory stares into the light, frowning.
The shrine room is through here, but this barrier wasn't here before. Harrow must have warded the doorway after I ran.
Fantastic. Now what?
The ward is like a rock. There must be a key. Back when I helped Harrow run this place, he and I were the only ones allowed in the shrine, so we look for whoever has taken my place. That's where the key will be.
How do we know who that is?
It'll be a girl. Harrow would never take a male as a second. He wouldn't want the competition.
So, he doesn't want a sausage party, huh?
And her hair would be fine red. It's a sort of insignia of rank within the cult.
Ooh, he likes redheads. I like this guy already. No, a girl with red hair. Got it. No, I like redheads too, but not for the purposes of sex cults and stuff like that. So you can hear a distant murmuring sound coming from inside the room. Voices, 3, maybe 4 people, all talking amongst themselves. You can't make out what they're saying, but one of the voices sounds desperate. You've heard this tone before. It's the sound of a man pleading for his life.
We should keep moving. Whatever's going on in there, we don't want to get involved.
One of the cultists in there could have the key that we need.
Maybe, but that's a big if. I can guarantee you that if we open that door, they're going to attack us, key or no, and then we'll have no choice but to kill them. Remember that there are people we're here to save. I don't want to hurt them if we don't have to. At the very least, we should search through the rest of the compound first.
Put your ear to the door. I'm not leaving without knowing what's going on in that room. You strain your ears to hear what the people in the other room are saying. As you focus, it sounds crystalline and becomes clear. You shouldn't have come here. The tools of government aren't welcome at Fustel. You hear a soft sound. You recognize it instantly. A blade being drawn from its sheath. We have a use for people like you.
Please, think about it. I have kids at home, not much younger than you.
The voice is low and full of dread.
I'm not here to represent any government. I'm not a threat to you. I was only doing my job. You're wearing a uniform. That makes you a tool and a pawn and our enemy. Harrow said so. I'm just a park ranger. I'm only here to do a wildlife survey. I don't even know what you people are doing out here.
But now you know, and if you leave this place, others will find out. You brought this on yourself.
No, please.
Just a park ranger, huh? I do like park rangers. Sorry, Glory, we can't let this happen. Oh, sorry. You hear the voice of a piercing screech. Scream. Of course I get hit immediately. Of course I get hit both times. Great. Awesome. Jesus. It's super annoying when I get hit first. I always get targeted first. Anyway, it's control mode. I'm gonna have to heal myself after this. Glory, I need your healing. I need your magical liquid healing. Oh god. Let's see. Acolyte, Acolyte. And then there's the dude there, so. If we move a little bit closer. I got a little bit of damage on him at least. Yeah, let's activate the adrenal pump. Yes, we'll try to hit this guy. Ow. 17 damage, holy crap. Man. Okay, let's activate the steel links now. I actually meant to activate the steel links first, I just wasn't paying attention. Jeez. There we go. %80 game, and I missed. I'm just never gonna get over that fat, am I? No, it didn't even do anything. Huh, alright. Jeez. And let's talk to the park ranger there. You step towards the park ranger. His eyes are wide, and they move from you to Glory to the scene of the carnage in the room. It takes you a moment to realize that Glory isn't following you. You turn to find her standing in place, staring at the bodies of the slaughtered acolytes. Her expression is unreadable. It had to be done, Glory. They would have killed him.
Back when I lived here, I would have too.
She looks away.
All that we've done is to trade 2 innocent lives for one.
Blame Harrow for that, not me. After a long pause, she nods.
Yeah.
The ranger staggers forward, then collapses to his knees. He's bleeding in a dozen places from long, shallow wounds. The blood pours from his body in sheets, pooling in a slit on the hardwood floor. I don't know who you are, but thank you. He grimaces and clasps a hand on his left forearm. Blood oozes between his fingers. Those monsters were going to bleed me out. They took turns cutting me, carved up my arm like a holiday roast. Can you patch him, Glory? She kneels beside him to inspect the damage.
I can fix this. He'll need a trip to the hospital, but I can get him on his feet.
Glory goes to work binding the park ranger's wounds. Within a few minutes, she staunches towards the bleeding. Thank you. He staggers back to his feet. I think I can make it out of here on my own. My truck isn't far from here.
When you get to the hospital, people are going to have questions. What are you going to tell them?
He stares at Glory for a moment, then his eyes flit to you. What do you want me to say? Get help. I want the world to know what's happening here. He nods. If that's what you want. He limps a few steps forward, then looks back at Glory. I owe you my life, Fraulein. I owe you both. Glory steals into the glance of the dead cultist. She looks back up at the ranger and gives him a curt nod. When they took me, they confiscated my gear. I saw them stash it behind a vent in the garage before they dragged me in here. I don't need it. It only slowed me down. I'll take it, thanks. That's why you want to help him, is for his gear. So, you don't need it, but... Glory stares at the old Tridvid player. When she speaks, her voice is flat.
It's unbelievable how little things have changed. I remember stealing this for Harrow, the owner. Well, he didn't need it anymore. I remember how proud Harrow was, how loved I felt.
Yeah. You were just a kid, and Harrow's a monster. You couldn't have stopped yourself.
It'd be nice to believe that. It really, really would.
She turns away from the Tridvid player and stalks past you.
Let's keep moving.
Alright, let's keep looking around. So, I can't believe I took all that damage in the first round. Ugh. I hate it. I hate when I get cheap shotted like that. Unfortunately, that's just the game's design for you, so. Because I'm the main character and I'm playing a glass man there. You hear voices speaking in low tones to the wood of the door. You can't make out the words, but regular choruses of rough laughter tell you that the people on the other side are enjoying themselves.
More of Harrow's acolytes. If we walk through the door, they'll attack us just like last time.
Let's see. We're looking for a key to get past that warded door. Could the girl who has it be behind that? There's a pause before she responds. Yes, there's definitely a possibility. When I rose Hero's second, I practically lived in that room. Was it a dorm or a lounge or something? Her mouth tightens. Yes, you could call it that. A special place for Hero's inner circle, the acolytes and the bait girls and Hero's wives. Mata and I used to spend a lot of time in here. Let's keep moving for now. We actually want to come back here, but when we want to check the rest of the place first. That's basically the next section, so. Alright, let's see what's in here. Ooh, van. It must be the guy's van we just met. Gory pauses at the side of the van. She traces the side of it with a claw. I remember cruising the back alleys of Trubingen looking for kids in need of help. The bait girls, Mata and others like her, would offer them money or food or drugs or sex, whatever it took to get them into the van. And once they piled in, Hero and I would be waiting to greet them. I remember so many nights like that. She frowns. I remember how much I used to enjoy it. Coming back here shows integrity, Glory. Most runners that I know wouldn't have done what you're doing tonight. Left to my own devices, I probably wouldn't have. You pushed me to do this, to find some substance of redemption. I owe you for that. You don't owe me anything. She shrugs. Tell yourself whatever you like. We both know the truth. Come on, let's get moving. Alright, and then let's check that vent. If you didn't help the park ranger, this isn't here, so. Oops. So we get a gold trauma kit. Then we also get a premium med kit. And another premium med kit. So yeah, we got quite a few med kits for that, so very nice. Like I said, you don't need it. Just, you know, hey, why not? This is the Initiate's dormitory. The new arrivals are brought here. There's still hope for these kids, Blackwire. Hero hasn't had a chance to ruin them yet. Good to know. We'll try to get them out of fear. Gore raises a hand, suddenly alert. Wait to listen movements in the other room. Listen closely. You strain your ears to listen. Soft voices from inside the room come drifting out of the nearby vent. You hear a woman's voice. The sound is crisp and smooth and sweet and instantly puts you at ease. Calm down, dear. It's probably nothing. No need to worry yourself. We're so far off the beaten track, we don't get a lot of visitors. Out of the corner of your ear, you can hear Glory's back stiffen. She flinches as though she's been stung. Another voice, high-pitched and pleading. An adolescent boy. But what if it is someone? What if the bad people have found us? What if they followed me here? They've come too? The female voice cuts in, soft and comforting. Well, then we'll send them away. You're perfectly safe here. You have to believe that. Don't worry, dear heart. Hero won't let anyone hurt you. Not here, in this place, not ever again. You hear another boy's voice. This one is deeper. Are you certain, Marta? Positive. Be calm, all of you. As long as you're here with us, nothing bad will ever happen to you. Is that your Marta Gory? She gives a curt nod. Not mine, heroes, but she's the Marta from my story, yes. What do you want to do? Gory pauses, grits her teeth, and finally she spits out an answer. If she's still here, she'd be heroes #1, my old position. He had his way with all of us, but he was always sweet on Marta. That means that she'll have a key to the shrine. Maybe we can talk to her, convince her to give us the key? Maybe, but not here, not now. Those kids in there, they'll all die for her. They already left her. That's what she does. We can't risk confronting her in that room. If the situation turns ugly, any one of those kids will happily eat a bullet for her. And that's not what I came here to do. You're right. We came here to save those kids, not get them killed. We'll wait until Marta leaves and follow her. Glory nods her assent. Marta's voice floats back and out through the vent. Hush now, boys, and get some rest. You've got a big day tomorrow, the biggest day of your lives. You get to meet Hero. I promise you, after you speak with him, you'll see the whole world in a different way, a better way. The adolescent voice trembles at a response. Oh, all right, Marta, have a good night. A lovely musical laugh pours through the vents. You too, dear heart, all of you. You hear the distant sound of the door sliding shut. Glory takes a deep breath and then releases it. The coast is clear. We can enter the initiates. They're just a bunch of scared kids. Without Marta that ate them on, they won't try anything. Alright, we'll do that here in a second. Let's see what's in this door. Ooh, hello. Alright, advanced medkit. We'll just send that to the sash. Alright, what's in here? Anything? Nope, just the bathtub. Alright. Alright, let's go in here. Alright, what's in here? As you open the refrigerator door, a whiff of ammonia sticks to in your nostrils. Watery light glints off of the door's polished interior. The fridge is stacked full of large plastic bins, all tightly sealed and neatly labeled. It's hard to tell through the opaque plastic, but they appear to be full of meat. Inspect the containers. You pop the lid of the container to take a closer look. The first thing that hits you is the smell. The meat in here is beyond rancid. White mold frosts the side of the bin. It's all you can do to keep from gagging. As you rush to put the lid back on, you recognize a familiar shape in the rotten meat, a mangled human hand. The hell is this, Glory? Glory's voice is flat.
Ritual supplies. The adversary prefers them aged. Harrow teaches all the initiates how to do it, how to harvest the meat, how to store it, how to label it. Nobody likes doing it at first, but you learn. By the end, it doesn't even bother you anymore.
God, this is beyond fucked. We need to get this place down.
Rescuing the initiates will put a dent in Harrow's operation for a while. At least they'll be safe.
She turns away from you.
Come on, let's keep moving.
Yeah, this place is screwed up, man. Alright, let's open this door. Alright, what's in here? Alright, let's check this large book. I want to read from the book. An ostentatiously large tome sits cradled on its pedestal. The paper is robust and fibrous, and the binding has been expertly stitched. A steel plate running along the book's spine anchors it to the pedestal. Glory stares down at it, frowning.
Harrow's manifesto, the handcrafted line of bullshit that he feeds to his initiates. We all ate it up with a smile and came away convinced that he was a genius. She leafs through the pages with an articulated finger, looking like he's expended it over the last few years. It's at least twice as thick as it was when I lived here.
Maybe there's something there we can use.
I wouldn't want to hang around long enough to find out. This is Harrow's personal library. He used to experiment in here. There were dangerous things in there, Blackwire. Sick things. I was never allowed in this room without Harrow. Nobody was. He said that it was for our safety, and I think that he was telling the truth. She pauses. I feel uneasy being here. I don't want to stay any longer than we have to.
Maybe things have changed. We didn't have any trouble getting in, did we?
No, we didn't. I don't know what. You might be right. It could be nothing. Go ahead and leaf through the book if you want to, but try to be quick, okay? I don't want to stay in here any longer than we have to.
Leaf through the beginning of the manifesto. You flip through the early pages of the manifesto and find what looks like a good place to jump in and start to read. When I first set out on the path to free living, I realized I'd have to rethink all my early assumptions about life. I'd have to question my own values and beliefs. I need the strength to trust in the answers that came to me. The prospect was daunting, but it was also necessary. The road to true freedom is paved with unanswered questions. After all, you can't learn to be free from a book. The answer won't come from a Bible, an instruction manual, or a code of conduct. If you don't learn that, you'll never break your chains. The path to true freedom is one that each of us must walk on his or her own. What makes life worth living? What in life is truly valuable? And what is the dross that can be burned away? I spent weeks dissecting every aspect of my life to find the answers to these questions. Slowly, agonizingly, I pared down the list until only 4 items remained. These 4 items became the cornerstones of my new philosophy and the basis for everything that First L stands for. Love! The first cornerstone, the most important. Without love, life is bland and meaningless. Without love, we might as well be machines. Love what you do, love the people around you, but above all, love yourself. Self-determination. The second cornerstone. Each of us must be his or her own shepherd. No more gods and no more kings. Your life is your own. Lash out against anyone or anything that tries to treat you like property. An assault on your freedom is an assault on your whole being, and it must be met with an equally ferocious response. Charity. The third cornerstone. A miserable life is an empty one. If each of us is his or her own master, then nobody should live as a serf. By helping others along the path to enlightenment, so do we enrich our own lives. Passion. The final cornerstone. Complacency is poison. Be wary of it. Ambition is the key to a fulfilling life. Don't settle for what is. If you do, you abandon what could be. You hear a rustling sound behind you. Glory. Turning, you can see a troubled look on her face.
That ominous feeling is getting stronger, Blackwire. It feels like we're being watched.
Continue reading. Leafing through the middle of the book, you find a section dedicated to Harrow's rules of living. Be free. Be free in all things and experience that freedom with your whole being, body, mind, and spirit. Discard the oppressive traditions of modesty and shame that you've been indoctrinated with since birth. The free thinker has no use for them. Your body is a source of pride, of pleasure, and of succor for yourself and for others. Enjoy it and share that joy freely with those who desire it. Be selfish. Don't enslave yourself to others at the expense of your own happiness. Take what you want and do so unashamedly. Our desires are an important part of what makes us human. Society has trained us to hide that part of ourselves from the world, but the free living persons don't cower in the shadows. Own your desires and rejoice in them. Selfishness is ultimately dishonest, and dishonesty has no place in a free society. Show reverence. The free living person understands that the only true governance in this world is the law of nature, and that in nature that is a hierarchy. The rabbit doesn't question the wolf. The mouse does not wonder why it must run from the cat. They do because they must. Their survival depends on it. As it is in nature, so it is at Fustel. Know your place in the food chain and understand the mechanisms by which you can better yourself. You leap forward and find that there are at least 20 more pages worth of rules. Each is worded vaguely enough to have multiple interpretations. You hear another rustling sound, Glory moving behind you. She stares down at the rules of living, looks of disgust on her face. If you have the rules of etiquette, you can have a little extra line of dialogue here. I'm getting the feeling that this entire thing is written in doublespeak. I doubt if there's a single statement here that isn't contradicted somewhere else. Yeah, we already read that, so. You're an intelligent woman, Glory. Can't believe they couldn't see through this.
I was a kid, 17 years old, and most of them spent living in one hell or another. I had a lot of demons to escape from, and the people who made me feel safe and welcome. I wanted this to be true. I needed it to be true, so I convinced myself that it was. In retrospect, you're right. The rules of living are derivative, self-contradictory drivel. They offer easy answers and an attractive, easily digestible package. But then so has the philosophy of every self-proclaimed messiah in history, and they've always managed to attract their share of followers. It's easy to pass judgment for where you're standing, Blackwire. In my position, I've done the same thing.
No, not me. Glory freezes up, her shoulders hunch and her eyes narrow.
Blackwire, that ominous feeling, it's getting closer. There's something in this room with us. I'm sure of it. We need to get out of here now.
You keep reading. You keep an eye out. I have to finish this. There must be something in here that we need. The final pages of the manifesto devolve into semi-cohesive rants about anarchy, social Darwinism, free love, and the Horned God. You've seen this kind of thing before. Harrow's philosophy is collapsing under its own weight. Unfortunately, none of his cultists seem to have caught on to this fact. This philosophy of Harrow really starts to break down. Gloria lets out a startled cry, cutting your sentences short. Out of the corner of your eye, you see her wheel to face something behind you. All at once, the room is filled with a slaughterhouse smell, a smell like blood, bile, and feces, the stench of an abattoir. As you turn, you catch sight of something sliding into the world. It looks like a charred man with a pair of tortured faces where its shoulders should be. The thing burns like a Roman candle, spitting white-hot sparks in a fiery plume. An oily substance runs down between its dangling legs and splatters onto the floor. Where those drips lands, they burn.
Blackwire, look out!
Yeah, look out where you don't even get a chance to run. Thanks for taking my drone, jerk. Okay, so yeah, there goes my Doberman. Oh well, that's usually how it goes. Oh well. The body of the thing that attacked you begins to dissolve at the moment of death. As you watch, its tissue breaks down to a growing slick of bubbling pitch and rendered fat. The hell was that?
Something from another place.
Glory stares at the remains of the creature, now a dark stain in the library's floorboards.
Like I said, outside, the boundaries between the physical world and astral plane are weak here. Things can come through.
Headless abomination just pissed lighter fluid onto the floor and tried to burn us to death. I think that things can come through is an underselling it a bit. She shrugs.
Semantics. Now, can we please get out of here before it happens again?
Yeah, good plan. Nope. I want to check the terminal. Haha. Anyway, it appears to be a standard terminal. A login prompt glows on the screen. Hack the terminal. If you don't, you obviously can't do this at all. It looks as though the terminal is used exclusively for financial transactions. After a bit of digging, you find a list of payoffs to local law enforcement, paid by Harrow, no doubt, to ensure that the police look the other way. But anyway, we get payday Harrow bribe, so now we can sell that back at the group, back at base after everything. So I didn't think I was gonna have the Doberman for long, but I got pretty unlucky there. Too many hits back to back and everything. So all right. We're going to open the door in this case, so. Yeah, hopefully I'm in a good spot to not get attacked. Or get hit myself, so. Let's see. Well, might as well find a good. Yeah, let's find a good spot to get in there. Should be like 2 or 3 dudes in here, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have a summon, otherwise I would hit this guy. But anyways, hit this guy. Let's... Yeah, I'm just going to keep myself in here. Alright, let's hit yourself with another adrenal pump. Are you all just going to run around and not do anything? Thank you. Alright, let's see. Oh, come on. That's like an 80% hit. I hate it. Oh, I hate missing. Oh my god. Game, please. For the love of all that is holy, let me hit. Wow, I am doing very bad here. And luckily, Glory has a decent amount of healing, so it's not that bad, but if I get hit a couple times, so... Oh, why does she keep missing? Jeez. I just can't help myself. Yeah, let's move closer, see if we get a better shot. I'm just not doing well with hitting today. Like, and they're decent numbers, I mean. And then I get hit multiple times back to back, so I lose a drone already, so. There we go. Wow, those odds are just bad. I mean, I can't help myself, viewers. It just annoys me that I keep missing all the time from something that's... Wow. Yeah, I'll just let them do whatever. Oh man, this game. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to hit him, but... Seriously? You went all the way just to hit me, even though there's clearly two targets around here. There's something in here I want to see. Oh boy. Anyway. A dirty, torn shirt lies discarded on the ground. The fabric is splattered with blood. Glory stares down it, unblinking.
An idiot must have worn that in here. It's too small for an acolyte.
Her voice is sad and soft.
Maybe he did something to offend a hero, or maybe a member of the inner circle was in a mood for sport. Doesn't matter either way.
She looks away.
The owner of the shirt doesn't need it anymore.
Alright. And then... Yeah, another summon spot. Can't do anything with that, so... Hanging against the wall, you find a grainy photograph that has been mounted to a wooden panel. The wood looks like it was recovered from a construction site. It's rough, splintery stuff, and there's a few nails jutting out of it at odd angles. The photo depicts a pair of teenage girls in ratty clothes posing against a forested backdrop. The two are entwined in a loving embrace. One is leaning in to plant a kiss on the other's cheek, and the other one is smiling. The smiling girl has a head full of fire red hair. It takes a moment to realize what you're looking at. The red-haired girl is Glory. In the picture, she looks vibrant, happy, and alive. You don't recognize the other girl's face, but from what Glory has told you of her past, you guess that it's probably Marta. Glory stares at the photo. Her face is devoid of expression. After a moment, she closes her eyes. You look good as a redhead. Her mouth twists into a joyless smile.
Hero certainly thought so. I did it for him, you know. A sign of devotion. All I wanted was to please him. Of course, now I realize that what it really was. It was Hero's way of marking me as his property, like a dog pissing on a tree. Her smile fades. What a goddamn fool I was. A glint of light catches something small and delicate hanging from one of the nails in the wood. Leaning in, you can see the object clearly, a thin ring made of braided silver wires. Glory, know anything about this ring? Marta gave me this ring on the day that this photo was taken. She said that she made it for me. I left it behind when I left this place behind.
Maybe Marta still has feelings for you? Stranger things have happened. She stares at you.
Haven't you been paying attention? Marta never cared about me. She was bait. It was her job to leave me here, me and 100 other kids like me. The ring doesn't mean anything. It was bupkis. I got it in a Cracker Jack box. I couldn't help myself, viewers. Then why did she keep it? I don't know. She stares at the ring for a long moment, then snatches it from the pictured frame. She tucks it away into her satchel. It was mine, so I'm taking it. Now let's keep moving.
Alright, now we got Glory's ring as a mission item. Let's see. I'm trying to remember if there's any rooms I can... Yeah, I think I'm good to go. Okay, so just making sure I went all the rooms, checked everything. Alright, let's head inside. Alright, open the door. Hey, hey. No one want to say or do anything? The initiate closest to the door whips his head up to look at you. He takes a stutter step backward in alarm, then opens his mouth to cry for help. You don't want to do that. Glory looks down into the initiate's eyes, transfixing him. We're not here to hurt you. If you have etiquette street, you could get past this, which is if we wanted to kill you, or you'd be dead. You've lived on the street. You know how this works. Or we could just lie them. We're friends of Harrow's. Don't bother calling Marta out here. We're just going to go in there to have a word with her. The initiate eyes you nervously. His gaze flits to Glory, then falls to her cyber limbs. He swallows. Yeah, okay. He takes a step back. You do that. And yeah, we can just leave well enough alone. Anything to say, lady? The initiate by the door is staring at Glory's limbs, her eyes wide. She's a mousy little thing, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 17 years old, with purple contact lenses and a shock of blue hair. Goes by the name of Homer. No. She glances up at Glory, blinking. You used to live here, didn't you? I've seen your picture before. You shouldn't have been in that room. It isn't safe for initiates in there. It was a dare. Please don't tell Marta or Mr. Harrow. I don't want to get in trouble. I won't. And to answer your question, yes, I did live here. I was like you, a scared child brought to you by Marta for a chance at a new life. I like Marta. She's so nice. I always feel safe when I'm with her. Most adults aren't like that. They either don't notice you or that they do for the wrong reasons. But Marta, she cares about us. There was a long pause, and then the initiate looks to you, screwing up her courage. She speaks. Can I ask you something? Go ahead, ask away. Yeah, well, I overheard Marta talking with Mr. Harrow yesterday. I think that they were talking about our meeting with him, the one that Marta was just telling us about, where we'll learn to see the world in a different way. Go on. Well, I couldn't really hear the whole conversation. It was all muffled. What I could hear was kind of weird. Mr. Harrow said some stuff about a shrine, and then it sounded like he changed the subject, because he started talking about dinner. Something about chopping up the meat. Whack, hack, chopping that meat. Well, Marta got real upset, said, they're too new. They're not ready. Make the older ones do it. Stuff like that. But then Mr. Harrow said some other things, and then she calmed down again. When she left, she was smiling. And so I was just wondering, do you know what they were talking about? I want to make sure that Marta's okay, but I can't ask her about it because I don't want her to find out that I was eavesdropping. I think I know what Harrow has planned for you. Have you ever opened the fridge in the other room? No, why? Is that where we're going to make dinner? Glory cuts in. Her voice is gentle. I wouldn't worry about it. We'll make sure that Marta is okay. All right, but don't tell her I told you, please. Don't worry, we won't. How long have you been here, by the way? Almost a week. She shuffles her feet. Eventually, she looks up with a small smile. It's wonderful. Of course it is. So much nicer than living on the streets, isn't it? Glory's face is kind, but her tone is one of incredible sorrow. You be good, sweetie. Don't you worry. We'll take care of Marta. The girl smiles sheepishly and stands back. As you pass by her on her way to the door, Glory shoots you a sidelong glance. It's like I thought things have changed in the past few years. How so? Back when I lived here, Harrow would never have let such a fresh convert prepare a sacrifice. He'd wait until she was in so deep, until she felt so indebted to him, that she couldn't turn tail and run. It was a rule. You let newcomers get settled for a month, maybe two, before teaching them the more unsavory aspects of the cult life. Even then, you'd start them off slow. Their first lessons would use pork or chicken, never human meat. That didn't come until much later. Indoctrinating a new recruit after a week is risky as hell, and he would never have done it when I lived here. It's the shrine. He's using it to brainwash the initiates faster than he used to. She nods. That's what I'm thinking. Harrow's getting lazy, letting his captive spirits do the heavy lifting for him. So what does that mean for us? I'm still working on that, but I don't think that the shrine is just a tool for Harrow anymore. I think that he relies on it. He's using it as a crutch. She cocks her head slightly, a thoughtful expression on her face. I think that he let himself become dependent on the damn thing. That girl is never going to have to do what we saw back in that kitchen. We won't let that happen. She nods, a fierce look in her eye. On that we agree. Yep, so let's take care of this thing. So let's confront Marta about this.
Marta's just on the other side of that door. However this goes, we're going to have to move quickly afterwards. If she dies, Harold will know it, and I don't trust her to keep her mouth shut if she lives. So we take the key to the shrine room, break through the ward, and confront the spirit. Are we clear on that?
Step back. We'll come back to this then, and then after a few other things, I want to check out the compound first. I think I've got everything, though. She nods.
All right, but we shouldn't take too much time. We need to get that key before Harold returns.
I'm just making sure I didn't miss any extra things. No, I think I got everything. Yeah, sorry. It's like that one mission. I always missed something because I wasn't paying attention. So, all right, open the door. And there's Marta. The woman in the room is lovely. Full lips contrast artfully with her fine elvish features, and a tumble of fire red hair spills down over her shoulders. Beyond her physical beauty, there's something inherently approachable about her. She exudes an almost palpable aura of kindness and warmth. Marta, Glory's old lover, the lure that Harrow used to draw her and so many others to Furstel. She looks up with a start at the sound of your approach. Her eyes go wide at the sight of Glory. As she takes in her cyberware, her mouth falls open in horror.
Glory! Yes, Marta, it's me. Glory's voice is cold. It's been a long time.
It has. Marta swallows. The horrified look hasn't left her face.
Glory, what have you done to yourself?
What I had to do, I got out, Marta.
That was the only way. Oh, Glory.
All at once, the horror on Marta's face is replaced with an expression of profound sorrow.
I'm so sorry.
Marta steps forward, her arms extended to wrap Glory in a hug. All at once, something in Glory's face changes. Her skin goes from pale to pallid, and her breath becomes ragged. She takes a step back and raises her claws into a defensive posture. Her voice frosts over with cold rage.
Don't you touch me! You're one of Harold's creatures. You always were.
Marta stops short.
What are these creatures, Glory? What are you talking about?
Keep her cool, Glory. This isn't like you.
Look at me, Blackwire. Take a good long look. I was forced to sacrifice my own body in order to escape from this place, to hack a way that made me human, and she's the one who brought me here.
Maybe so, but at the end of the day, it was your decision to come here. No one held a gun to your head. She grinds her teeth, but says nothing. Eventually, she nods.
You're right, of course. It was my choice. But that doesn't change what she is, or what she did to me. If she hadn't found me, she hadn't baited me here, none of this would have happened. None of what? I haven't done anything. If you had just left me when you found me, I never would have hurt anybody. My mother would still be alive. I never would have sold my soul to that abomination that you all worship. I wouldn't have had to sacrifice my own body to escape from it. This place took everything from me, and it all started with you.
She looks genuinely hurt.
Harold and I rescued her from life on the street. A beautiful girl, homeless, penniless, living in a gutter. I pulled you away from all that. I saved you.
There's a long pause. Gloria stares into Marta's eyes. Her expression's unreadable.
I don't feel much anymore, Marta. Most of the time I'm completely numb. But for you, I can make an exception. I hate you. I'm sorry that you feel that way, Glory. For my part, I still love you.
The razors flick out of Gloria's fingertips. Her lips curls into a snarl.
Another lie. That one, the last one you'll ever tell.
So I don't think she's lying, or at least she doesn't think so. She believes what she's saying.
That's because it's true. I'll prove it to you.
The words come stammering out of her. Her eyes are fixed on Glory's razors.
Ask me anything you want. I'll show you that I'm telling the truth. I never want anything bad to happen to you, Glory. Not ever.
She wills to face you.
Why are you listening to her? She's just telling you what you want to hear. That's her whole purpose here. Remember, she's bait. We should listen. Why should we listen to anything she has to say?
Glory's ring. Because of this and the photo that was nailed to. If she was lying, she wouldn't have kept them all these years. Gloria stares at you for a moment and asks naked hostility on her face. Then the razors slide back into her housing with a click.
All right, but convince me. Convince you of what? That I'm not a monster? I don't know how to do that, Glory. You can start by telling me how you sleep at night. You know what happens to the kids that you bring here. You know what happened to me, but you're still luring them here into Hera's clutches all these years later. So tell me, how do you live with yourself? Explain it to me.
For a moment, you can see that the conflict between Marta's eyes. If cognitive dissonance had a face, it would be hers. Confused, frightened, angry, at war with herself. For a moment, she struggles to speak. Then the whispering sensation that you felt outside the compound comes back, and her face changes. The muscles of her brow relax, and she appears to be at peace.
Why are you asking me this, Glory? You already know the answers. The kids here, they aren't being hurt. They're walking the path to a free, more pure life, just like Harold taught us.
The shrine... I haven't been in Forstel for an hour, Marta, and this time I found evidence of horrifying levels of abuse. She flinches in agitation, but you hear the whispering again, and she calms herself. Her joyful smile widens. Nothing that's happened here is without reason. Harrow's a great man, a prophet. When you meet him for yourself, you'll understand. He'll make you see. She's too far gone to parse what you're saying, Blackwire. After so many years of living here, I don't know if she even knows what normal feels like anymore. She steps forward and grabs Marta by the shoulders. It's a curiously soft gesture. Marta, if what you're saying is true, if you ever really did care for me, then please give me your key. It's important. Key? She blinks. Key? Whatever you use to get past the woods out to the shrine, I need it. I don't ask why. Just do this for me. You owe me that much. She looks momentarily conflicted, then the moment passes. No, Harrow said that I had to guard this. He told me that I could never take it off. I can't question one of Harrow's orders. It'd be wrong. Now, if you have the academic etiquette, that helps you with her convincing her of this whole situation. But if you have other information, it's fine. It just helps you, bypass some of the stuff, so... But if you did have academic, you'd say, don't you see anything ironic about a cult devoted to freedom and rebellion with a totalitarian leader? But I don't have that, so... you question him about what he's planning on doing with those initiates back there. Was that wrong? That's different. She blinks, then that whispered sound returns, soft and insistent, and with the flicker of unease on her face is replaced with an easy smile. You wouldn't understand. Then maybe you could explain it to me. Maybe if you could answer my questions, I'd be able to see the light. She nods eagerly. Yes. Please go on and ask your questions. I'll explain everything, and you'll see for yourself how perfect and right our way really is, how beautiful it can be. Gloria said that you two spent a lot of time in the lounge back there when she lived here. What did you do there? She shrugs. The usual. Drink, play games, have sex, watch the trid. The sort of things that lovers usually do in their free time. What do you ask? Because we found a tattered, bloodstained shirt in there. It looks like it came from an initiate. Marta blinks. She looks momentarily confused, and then you see the conviction clamp back down behind her eyes. So you found a shirt. So what? There could be hundreds of explanations for that. You know the kinds of thing that happened in that room, Marta. You've heard the stories. We both did. She shakes her head. I've never seen an initiate turn harmed in that room. Not once. And as for the rumors, well, they're just rumors. I'm sure of that. I've read Harrow's manifesto. It looks like he spends a long time talking about charity. She nods eagerly. Yes, of course, charity. The kind that I practice when I rescue young people from the streets. But then in the rules of living, he says that all free thinkers are supposed to be selfish. Well, yes, but... And after that, he says that only the strong deserve to prosper. So which is it? The confusion washes over her face again. She begins blinking agitatedly and fidgeting. Then the unseen force clamps down again, and she seems to calm. You don't understand the beauty of this message, the truth behind it. Harrow is hurting the runaways that you bring here. You can see that, can't you? Her smile shifts into an expression of mock concern. Hurting? How so? When Glory lived here, you had to kill her, had her kill a man for his Trivid player. How can that be right? Marta a forced smile falls. Her brow furrows, and suddenly she looks afraid. That was a long time ago, and that man Harrow said that he had to die, but I don't remember why. There was no reason, Marta. None that matters. I should know. I'm the one who killed him. She remained silent for a time before replying. Say whatever else you wanted to say. Give us the amulet, Marta. It's the right thing to do. You feel the whispering again. Marta shakes her head to clear away the fog. You're right. Something strange is going on here. Things don't add up. I don't know why I'd never seen it before. What is wrong with me? It isn't you. It is the place. It gets into your head. It took a lot more than this to wake me up to it. So you'll give us the amulet? No, I can't go against Harrow's wishes. He told me never to take it off, and I won't. But I will come with you. If I can help save those kids from what's happening, that's what I have to do. Well, that's what we're here for. In that case, let's move on to the shrine room. I'll get you through the door. I won't let any more children come to harm. And if you do it right, you can convince Marta to help you in this whole situation. So yeah, she's here. So take a look at Marta there. So she got extra pull of 2, 4 armor, 60 HP, 6 essence, 6 magic. So she's got spell casting. So and charisma for conjuring and stuff like that. So Marta has, she has Heal Wound, Mana Ball, and Lightning Bolt, and she's got a Fetish to summon, as well as Acid Bolt, and she's got First Nation Armor, which doesn't give her any healing at all, but hey, it gives her another companion to help in this, so, and because I'm such a glass cannon, Anyway, before we head on. Marta, are these friends of yours? Yes, dear heart, they are. All we need to do is have a word with Harrow now. You get to bed. You have a big day tomorrow. So, alright. So we do that. But yeah, you need to have, without the etiquette academic, you need to find the Trivid, the shirt, and Glory's ring to convince her to not, otherwise you have to kill her, basically. So, it's a better ending to the story if you save her. So, okay, I'm going to save it really quick just because I've taken all that damage. And we're about to do the final area of this place, so I want to make sure I don't get killed by accident. As you step forward, the scintillating red lights that streams from the doorway flickers and dies. There's a strange lurching sensation in your gut, but it clears almost instantly. The door swings open with a touch. That seems to have done it. Glory nods, then reaches into her satchel. Her hand comes back out clutching a small jar. I'm going to put a smear of this on your forehead. It's a sort of alchemical balm. Her voice goes quiet. Harrow taught me how to make it. She unscrews the cap from the jar, revealing a pale white ointment. The surface glitters strangely in the dim light. If you ever wonder where my share of the take from our jobs have gone, this is the answer. Powdered orichalcum isn't cheap. Oh, wow. Orichalcum, what's that? An alchemical alloy. It's inherently magical, hellishly difficult to make, and incredibly expensive. It's also the key ingredient in a lot of magical foci, and it's what makes this balm react the way it does to astral energy. She dips a metallic fingertip into the jar and begins to stir. The boundaries between the material world and the astral plane are weak here. This stuff sort of acts like a lens. It focuses your perception, makes the haze real. Marta cuts in, her voice is full of wonder. You let you commune with her as servitors, the emissaries of our great master, the adversary. She applies a smear of ointment to her forehead. It looks like a glob of glittering white paint. Not the way I would put it, but yes. With this we can deal with the spirit on its own level. I've only done this with Harrow before. He warned me never to try it without him. She shivers. There's strange things in this place we're about to visit. I'm sure that I've gone up against stranger. She dips her finger into the balm and traces it down your forehead. The ointment feels cool and oily on your skin. I'm not, but in the end doesn't matter so much. We'll push through to the shrine spirit no matter what. She fishes in her bag a second time and pulls out a pair of silver necklaces, a rune-inscribed pendant of dangles from each. This will protect your astral self from spiritual possession. Don't take it off while you're dealing with the shrine. Whatever you do, put on the pendant. Got it. What about Marta? She touches a finger to the amulet that hangs around her neck. I'll be fine. This will work just as well. Glory puts on her own pendant. The necklace glitters slightly against her pale skin. I don't know what's going to happen when we step into that room, Blackwire. We're playing with forces outside of our control. You ready to do this? I've been waiting for this ever since we got here. Marta smiles. Her eyes glitter with anticipation. I'm ready. Let's go then. Once we purify the spirit, we'll see about rescuing those kids. Harrow will get away, but we can worry about that later. This is the choice. Now, here's the choice here where you save the kids and Harrow. This is the last chance to change your mind on that. So if you have to kill them, that's the objective. But if you do, that's the plan. Let's do it. So basically, ahead of time, just to let you know that if you save the children, Glory gets a healing ability in the game when she does it because of your efforts to save the children. If you choose to let Harrow get away, it means she gives into her vengeance, and so her claws do more damage. So that's more of a personal preference. Obviously, story-wise, saving the children is a better outcome overall, so that's the one I'm going to do. But that's the plan. Let's do it. One last thing before we do this. I have a reason to suspect that Harrow isn't the real power here anymore. I think that the spirit is. Marta lets loose a surprised giggle. That's ridiculous. Harrow trapped the spirit, made it his plaything. It does what he tells it to do. I don't think so, not anymore. I believe when Harrow started using his shrine, he handed the spirit the keys to the kingdom. The bastard might think that he's still in charge here, but he isn't. He's a servant just like everybody else, though difference that he doesn't know it. What are you basing this on? What we saw with the initiate in the fridge. She jerks a thumb at Marta. Her general mindset and what she said about the sacrifices, lots of things, but they add up. Why does any of this even matter? I don't understand what you're saying. It matters because it's solid evidence that we're doing the right thing. Even if Harrow does escape, he won't be as much of a threat as we thought he was. I just wanted Blackwire to know that. Thanks. Now let's do this! Alright. Sorry about that little cut there. Had a little technical glitch there. But anyway, now that with Marta in tow and Glory ready to go, can we go inside to the realm of the adversary and cleanse them of this place and save the initiates? Or will Glory give in to her vengeance and show Harrow what it means to be a spurned lover and all those things that she's been tortured with her whole life? We'll find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Dragonfall. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.